The reviews are in for Need for Speed, and they're mediocre, but you beg to differ, don't you, Vega?
Yo, it was like zoom, zoom. It's Need for Speed at its core. And it's just mad fun. Like, you can't take that away from it. But yeah, I'm Vega for Hard Mode Gamers. This is my man Chat. And we're going to talk a little bit about Need for Speed Payback.
So, first things first. Is it better than the film starring Aaron Paul?
Yo, the film wasn't that bad. Let's not attack the film. It was actually pretty good for a video game based movie. It wasn't bad. Especially in a world where like Fast and Furious exists. Like,
yeah.
It wasn't bad.
It was supposed to be like a Fast and Furious like experience, right?
It is supposed to be, but so it fails there. Because it doesn't deliver the way that like you would think it would, especially with the amount of time. Like Need for Speed has already been the Fast and Furious of video games. Like that's never been contested.
Yeah, it kind of has.
It's really hard for them to be like, we're the Fast and Furious of video games now. Like, no, guys, you were first.
Yeah, it was underground when we had two Fast and Furious and whatever Tokyo Drift was.
Exactly, and there was already Need for Speed prior to that. So what happened? But I think like Need for Speed Payback does a really good job of being Need for Speed in the sense where like they're not doing anything new. They're not trying to impress us or do anything that really blows you away. They're just saying, here's more of what you like, right? But the one major complaint that I did have that a lot of people had, and I think this is what made it so easy for people to neglect how much fun the game was, is the like unlocking vehicle system, like the progression system is a little bit weird. In that you have different classes of cars. So like let's say I unlock a Camaro as a street racing car. I then also have to unlock it as a like dirt build.
This sounds like The Crew.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally like The Crew. And I hated that about The Crew. Because I don't want to have to unlock the same car multiple times. Just let me make changes to my car.
The Crew.
Like, I'm not going to go out and buy a whole brand new M3 just so that I could make it dirt ready. Like, no, I'm just going to customize my current M3 and make it dirt ready.
At least they let you keep the car in The Crew. Because The Crew, you buy the one car and you can make as many different versions of that car as you want.
This one
in The Crew.
Not in Need for Speed though. Need for Speed, like
I assume they have more than 20 cars though.
Oh, way more than 20 cars. No Porsches though. No, not Porsches. There are Porsches.
No, Toyota? Was it?
There's no Toyotas.
I thought Toyota was the Forza
No Toyotas
thing.
In any racing game.
They just like don't want.
They don't want anything to do with racing.
They don't want people to enjoy their vehicles in a digital format.
Exactly. They just hate people in general. But I feel like one of the things that Need for Speed Payback did like ultimately fail on is the story. Like the story starts off interesting, or rather, it starts off as you'd expect, right? I'm already one of the best racers in the world. I'm racing, somebody does some fuck shit, and then I end up losing my car, losing my rank, and all this stuff. But it takes a very interesting twist in that it also lets you play like as the rest of your crew, and the dialogue from the other members of your crew gives it a psychological twist where like now if you're paying attention, now you're like, oh snap, I get to see how what happened to me affected the rest of my crew, while in most of the other racing games it's just like, boom, I did something and then we completely forget that I had a crew that existed and you just move on and like come back on your own or whatever. This one actually you reach out to your people, you apologize, like you try to convince them to redo this. They didn't spend a lot of time doing that, so that's kind of what took away from the narrative. But I think overall it's a fun game.
So is it Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005 ish? Is it like Underground? Which scale does it lead to? Because it definitely falls all over the place.
It definitely falls more into the Need for Speed Underground Most Wanted like chain of games.
And there's is it typical like you get into organic police chases?
No,
or is it
that
more
was
like
the
you're doing,
worst part.
It really?
Yeah, like every police chase is a mission.
Okay, so that's what I thought is instead of this like racing layout, it's more of like an action game with missions.
Yes.
That's what I'm getting from it.
It's like Need for Speed Payback. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. Need for Speed Payback is the open world like racing game that never existed. It's literally Assassin's Creed in the Need for Speed
Assassin's
world.
car?
It's Assassin's car.
That's still the crew. That's still the crew.
Well, I mean, it's EA. EA has done nothing but copy every other game this year. Like,
yes.
They're like, yo, we are desperate. Have. We just got to copy whatever the hell's working out there. And that's how they end up with loot boxes and stuff. But it is Need for Speed it's been open worldified where.
Well, how is it more open world than the other times it's been open world? Like, what makes it different this time?
Well, I don't want to say open world. I want to say open world like mission based, where so you like in the old Need for Speeds, I could just be driving right, and somebody drive past me, and then somebody, yo, screw that, I'm gonna race him, and we're just racing, right? Or like you're driving and you fly past the cop, and that officer's like, you're going way too quick there, buddy, and he chases after you. In this one, it doesn't work like that. Like every race or everything that's not just free roaming is tied to a mission icon. So for you to get involved in like a police chase, you have to find these like I forgot what they're called, but they're like heist boxes or something. So you go to this mission point, you start this mission, and then your entire police chase isn't even about getting away from the cops. It's just surviving the time limit. So
what? So they just like
so like
bored
it's a 2 minute it's a 2 minute timer, let's say, and then they're just like, well, that was boring, and you escaped. Like what? There was a moment where I literally had like 7 police officers like boxing me in, and I was barely breaking out, and then it was like mission complete because the timer finished. I was like, what? Like how did that happen? I didn't move.
Lucky you. Thank you, video game
it takes
logic.
away all the risk. It takes away all the risk and all the fun and like.
I mean, granted,
doing
that's
crazy stuff.
That's better than Need for Speed has been, though, because like with Rivals or Need for Speed: The New Most Wanted, the chases were like forever. Like
They were. They were
Do you
too
think
long.
they went too hard in the opposite direction then?
They did the black and white thing. They were like, oh no, the cop stuff was too hard. All right, fine. Like let's just make it like impossible to fail.
So
it's not impossible to fail. I failed a couple times.
One more thing, guys. Like, are they crazy stunts like the Fast and Furious things, flipping a tank? Do you get to redirect a heat-seeking missile?
None of that. No, Fast and Furious still has everyone.
Do you drag a vault around
across the city without destroying everything because the weight of the vault, as soon as you turn the first time, would actually take your car backwards? No, none of that exists. They do have the new like antique relic like find these cool collectible parts thing going on, which was way easier than I thought it was going to be.
Guess what?
What?
It's in the crew. You find parts for a car in the crew.
Yeah, there's only like 4 cars you find that way though.
Okay, all right. It's not like the
But I do remember that you did that in the crew as well. Like I played all of the crew. Well, not all of it. I played a lot of it.
So should people play the crew or Need for Speed Payback? I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, having played the crew, probably Need for Speed Payback, because the Crew 2 is coming out and it looks like it's going to be a lot better, and the whole MMO thing with the crew just kind of died in like a couple months. So
yeah, I don't know. The MMO concept for racers doesn't really work. Like,
I think NFS might be the better experience. Might have to borrow this from you.
Overall, Need for Speed is an incredible. Like, I thought it was a really good experience. I thought it was a lot of fun. I haven't finished it, but it's definitely good. Can't wait to see where the story goes from here.
We put out the review, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a 7.
I think a 7.
Yeah. Still better than most average, or I don't even remember the average. Screw the average. We make our own scores.
We make our own scores. No, most of the reviews were like a 7 or 8. If you had the chance to play it though, definitely let us know in the comment section below. And also, I mean, like I'm a huge Need for Speed fan. My personal favorite was Undercover. I think it took all the elements of Underground and made it perfect.
I liked Undercover. I just felt like it was too easy sometimes.
It was a little bit easy. It also was like the very first game that I can remember that fell victim to generation swapping. Because the PS3 and Xbox 360 version looked phenomenal. Like the PS2 version was garbage.
I played
Complete crap.
You want to know what I played it on first? PC.
Really?
Yeah, it was awful. I probably got the
You
PS2
got the PS2
version.
version. That shit was complete.
It was
garbage.
ugly.
It was
man.
like everything was box shaped. It was so bad.
Yes.
It was so bad. I remember, like, before we close this out, I just remember that I had it for PS3 and my friend came over and he was like, I'm going to get this. And he still had a PS2, so he went and bought it. I went to his house and he was like, look at this crap. Look at this. Look at this. What is this? I was like, yo, that's such a bad job.
My favorite was definitely Most Wanted 05. That one was just like, I loved the soundtrack of that one so much.
Yeah.
Like, that just had one really good CD's worth of songs. Like, it wasn't a lot of songs in the original Most Wanted. It was about a CD, but it's a good CD. I think when I was playing that game, every time I sat down to play it, I went through the whole track list, and, like, that was my stopping point. It's like, oh, shit, this is the last song. I gotta close things up, man. So tell us your favorite Need for Speed game in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, do what you can. We love hearing from you. This has been Chet.
And Vega.
Thanks for listening.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. See ya.